Hi, Ansley. Thanks for joining us to help answer this question. We get this question all the time, and it's so frustrating when you think that there's a warrant out for you, or maybe you've been told that there's a warrant out for you, and you don't know how to confirm or verify or what the next steps are. It can be a really scary place for people, and there aren't always a lot of good options, right?
Yeah, and it's really frustrating because you want to help and fix everything, but you can't. So the first step I recommend for folks is to call the court. Call and talk to the court clerk. You want to talk to the criminal division of either the state court, the superior court, or a local municipal court. And you want to talk to the clerk and ask if there is a record of a ticket at that court. So they would be able to tell you if your ticket, you missed your court date, and if it is in failure to appear status, FTA status, because, otherwise you might not know.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's so people don't always realize that that's the first is knowing which court you have a bench warrant in.
yeah,
Usually in the bench warrants we're talking about, usually it's because you missed a traffic date. It might have been something really simple or it might have been a more serious traffic offense. But when you miss court, they'll impose a bench warrant. And for, sometimes traffic tickets are those kinds of things you may not remember which court it was in, and you would expect that there's some easy way of finding out which one it's in, and so that can be tough. So if you know the court, though, you're way ahead of the game.
yeah,
And you can call the court clerk and just ask them. They may have a procedure for lifting the warrants. They may be able to tell you. In some places you might be able to do, you might be luck out and might be able to do it online. You may not even have to call the court clerk. I think even before I maybe even call the court clerk, maybe also check online, especially, if you're looking this up over the weekend. You might be able to do a lot from that place because courts are trying to resolve these simple, traffic tickets where they understand that life gets busy and you just miss court. And that's not a problem. So I think those are the two places that you can sort of, if you're worried there's a warrant, if someone's told you there's a warrant, if you can remember the court, go to the court's website, call the court clerk.
yeah. And the thing about bigger courts in the metro area, call in the morning. The afternoons you can sit on hold for an hour. I've done it. So please call in the morning. Sometimes in these municipal courts, though, if it's a smaller jurisdiction, also they may be having court at the time. Usually they will list the days, say the second Tuesday of the month. And so you also want to pay attention to that, because if they are having court, the court clerk likely is in court, so they're not going to answer the phone.
Yeah, that's a great tip, because it can be frustrating when you're waiting for people in the courts to call you back. And that's, I think, something that people are surprised about. You have to bring a lot of patience and kindness to that, because it can be hard to get the right person on the phone. And, that can make all the difference when you do. So bring a
Yeah.
lot of patience, especially these days, because the clerks are just inundated with a lot of calls and a lot of messages.
Yeah, being nice goes a really long way
Yes,
in
it
getting
does.
you the help you need.